October 27th, 2017, the day Nintendo decided to grace us with this gem, Super Mario Odyssey. Is there not a love about Super Mario Odyssey? Everything from its gameplay and visuals holds up really well. It's a game that I definitely can come back to every now and then and still have stuff to collect. And going across 15 worlds, there's just so many moons to collect. 999 in fact. This game is just packed with content. It took me roughly about 25 hours or so to beat the game, so it'll take you a while to get through everything if you take your time. This was during Nintendo's rebirth era. You had the Switch, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Mario Odyssey all coming out within 1 year of each other. It was definitely a strong year for Nintendo. When I got my Switch in 2019, Mario Odyssey was one of 2 games on my list, the other being Breath of the Wild. So when I got it in June of that year, you could bet I played it non-stop. It's fun, addicting, the music is good. How can you not like Mario Odyssey? So the story is that Bowser has kidnapped Princess Peach, and after failing to rescue her, you fall into a kingdom called the Cap Kingdom. Here you meet Cappy, your best friend in the game. He tells you that Bowser has been through here and that he stole his sister named Tiara. So with both of you having a common enemy and similar goals, you both go on an adventure to save them, with Cappy taking the form of Mario's hat. And well, Cap Kingdom, being the first world and all, is pretty easy. You don't really get moons in this one. It's mostly just going from point A to point B and learning the mechanics, with the big one being possession. Just press Y with a simple flick of the wrist. You throw Cappy and be in total control of an NPC like a frog, giving you the ability to jump high, or a Goomba, or these wigglers allowing you to stretch, a Hammer Bro, and even a T-Rex. This is a really good feature and really opens up the gameplay a lot with a bunch of different possibilities. Cappy even has abilities of his own, like throwing him and diving on him to get some extra momentum of your own, or whenever you need an extra boost to get up somewhere, and you could reach distances and heights you've never been able to before. It's just really fun, and you'll find yourself using it a lot. But back to the Cap Kingdom, it's very Tim Burton-like, with a kind of gothic aesthetic that looks like it could belong with, let's say, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Even the music has a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe to it. But back to the visuals, it's a very nice looking map, and some of the moons here after coming back later can be pretty tricky, and some of them involve some problem solving. And if you look around the map, you'll see that there's these light posts you can activate with Cappy that are scattered everywhere. And if you find them all and light them up, you'll find that you just wasted your time because you get nothing. At least you can see the next world, Cascade Kingdom, from here. Cascade Kingdom is a pretty fun world. It's not that big, but it has a waterfall. You officially get your first power moon here, and you could even go 2D here. Oh, and you can also become...
I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex!
The music is even good here too, and you have these purple coins scattered around the map also. They serve as the world's local currency as opposed to the gold coins, which you can use anywhere. With these, you can go to shopkeepers and buy themed costumes to wear, like a caveman, and even souvenirs to customize the ship with. Well, when you find the ship, it's all broken down and rusted, but with Cappy, you can restore its power with the moons you have, and that will give you the power to travel to other worlds, like the Sand Kingdom. Everything's frozen when you get there, but once you beat the boss, everything unfreezes, and that's when everything comes to life. It's a pretty good world, Toast Arena is a pretty nice town, small as it is, and then you have the ruins you can go to, then you can go fishing as Lakitu, then you have the Jaxi, making the traversing the world easier and faster. I like this world, and I'm barely just finding this small building all the way over here in the corner of the world. Gosh, I feel like I'm playing Elden Ring. The next world after that is the Lake Kingdom. It's alright though, it's not my favorite, mostly because of the water. It bogs everything down, and I just got the minimum requirements of the moons I needed to get and bolted to the Wooded Kingdom, also known as Planet Wisp's Revenge. It's a good world though, I like the theme of it, but after beating the first boss, everything opens up even more, and you can basically go anywhere, and that's not even all, because after the first boss, you have a second boss. This is a really open map, and you could go just about anywhere and you'll find something. There's even some moons that are hidden on trees that you can only get to by flying to them. and if you jump off the edge of the map, you'll end up in the deep woods. What doesn't this map have? And while you're here, you might notice that the screen and ground are shaking, but it's not long until you find the source of the shaking. It's another T-Rex, and this one's thirsty for blood. I've never been able to outrun the T-Rex without getting hit though. Well, Cloud Kingdom is up next. Not really much to this one though. You only go here for a quick boxing match with Bowser. It's alright, you just have to jump over his attacks and put his head on whenever he throws it at you, and you just start beating on him. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Then after that, you have Lost Kingdom. It's an okay kingdom. When you get here, Cappy gets stolen by a bird, and you have to get him back, but no one said you couldn't get the 10 stars required anyways. But you still need to get Cappy anyways, because without him, there's no way to get the moons into the Odyssey. Well, with that done, you have New Donk City, the easiest highlight of the game. Mario interacting with real people in a real world environment. New Donk City is a really fun world and filled with a bunch of references to Donkey Kong, like a few streets being named after Donkey Kong characters, and even Pauline from the original Donkey Kong returns as the city's mayor. While in New Donk City, you also get to partake in a New Donk City Festival, which tells the origins of how the city came to be. So it's basically a huge love letter to Mario and Donkey Kong's origins. You go 2D here, and you go through Donkey Kong-esque levels, jumping over pits and barrels until you eventually get to the end in a recreation of 1-1 from Donkey Kong. It's a really fun level, made even more fun with the song that plays in the background, Jump Up Superstar. Jump Up Superstar is a really good and fun song, and Mario even dances to it if you don't move. And there's even a cafe where you can play through World 1-1 from the original Super Mario Bros. And in the concert hall, after finding the band members, they even play a jazz funk rendition of the Mario Overworld theme. New Donk City really is the main event and is easily my favorite part of the game. So, how does Nintendo follow up New Donk City? The Snow Kingdom. I'm not a huge fan of this one. It's just kind of there for me, and not really that memorable, except for the race that's there. It's such a shame, because after going through New Donk City, Snow Kingdom kind of feels a little empty. Well, after that, you have the Seaside Kingdom. It's a pretty nice kingdom. The lighting and the world is pretty good and fun. You can even get on Plessy, and there's not really much going on here though, but there's still some fun to be had here, and I'm still discovering stuff, but it's one of the worlds that's pretty fun to go back to every now and then, and you know, just kind of just mess around. Luncheon Kingdom, it's an alright. It's really colorful and vibrant. This was actually the world where I got pretty lost in how to get to the main moons of the world. I actually didn't even complete this world until after I had already beaten the main game. It was completely on accident though, because I hadn't even realized that I hadn't beaten it until I went back after the main game. But the next world after this is Ruined Kingdom, and it's far from traditional Mario as it can be. It's another boss only world, but instead of fighting Bowser, you fight a dragon. And this is Skyrim? Elden Ring? No, it's Mario. It's not that hard though, it's actually pretty fun, but other than that, there's not much else. So, for the penultimate world, Bowser's Kingdom. This one is a pretty tough one. It's pretty huge and it's all split apart, with the only way to travel to the other parts of the world are through the power lines mostly. You could also buy a samurai outfit here though, that's because the world is Japanese themed, but there's actually still quite a bit of moves that I need to get here, though I probably won't. Then there's the Moon Kingdom, the final main world in the game. Bowser's escape to the moon, and it's here where it's revealed that Bowser kidnapped Peach and Tiara so he could get married to Princess Peach, and so Tiara could be the crown. There's hints thrown around here and now and then throughout the game, like Bowser goes to the Lake Kingdom so he can steal the wedding dress that's there, and he goes to the Wooded Kingdom to steal the flowers for a bouquet. But what's even cooler is that the purple coins here are replaced by star bits from Mario Galaxy, which is a nice form of continuity, and Mario could jump really high here, and for some reason Mario could breathe here just fine without a spacesuit, even though there's no oxygen or atmosphere here, evident by the fact that Bowser's footprints, as well as your own, are left behind even well long after the main game's been beaten. But regardless, after that, you arrive to the wedding hall, and everyone from the previous worlds you visited, even Pauline for some reason, is present for the wedding. And after crashing the wedding, you have one final battle with Bowser, before eventually everything falls apart. So in order to escape, you have to take control of Bowser and ram through everything on your way out. It's a pretty fun section, and is a pretty cool way to end the game, and you can even go into 2D and see Bowser in sprite form. The song that plays in the background, Break Free, Lead the Way, is also a pretty good song. But once you're done there, both you and Bowser try to fight for Peach's affection, but she just rejects the both of you and leaves with Tiara on the Odyssey, essentially just leaving the both of you stranded on the moon. Pretty messed up, but that's not all, since there's also post-game content. Throughout the game, you see cubes that you can't interact with in any way until beating the main game, because while escaping, you have to break this cube, which causes the pieces to fall to Earth and activate them. So interacting with them now adds even more stars to the game to be collected. And also, you can unlock the Mushroom Kingdom from Mario 64. It's not a one-for-one recreation, but it's supposed to be the same one. And you can even buy the 64-bit Mario costume to make yourself look like Mario from Mario 64. There's even an area in which you can only access while wearing the costume, and it's a one-for-one recreation of the courtyard that was filled with booze. There's quite a bit to do here, and there's even a 2D section hidden here that I wasn't able to find this time around. And there's even a small forest filled with Goombas, and going into the castle, it's basically a recreation of the original one from Mario 64. There's even an orchestrated version of the castle theme that plays. Oh, and here, the moon's turned into stars, and the jingle that plays is replaced with the one from Mario 64. That's so cool. And you can even collect more stars from Toadette as you complete certain tasks and statistics. This is the first world where I collected all the power coins and found all the stars in, minus the Toadette ones. And, just like in the original, Yoshi's hidden on the top of the castle, and you can even use Cappy to become and play as Yoshi. It seems like there's no end to the fun that's to be had here. And throughout the game, if you explore well enough, you could find these paintings you could travel into, just like in the original Mario 64. If you find the one in Sand Kingdom though, you could travel to Yoshi's house. There's nothing here though, other than it's separated from the rest of the world and that there's also a star, but still pretty cool nonetheless. Yeah, these paintings are mostly scattered across all the maps, and they mostly serve as a preview to upcoming worlds, as they usually only take you to cut-off section of the map, completely separate from anything else. Oh, and it's also here that you learn from the Toads that Princess Peach and Tiara have gone missing. But not really. What actually happened is Princess Peach and Tiara went on a sabbatical, visiting the worlds you've already been to, Peach's reason being that she wants to see the world on her terms. So it basically turns into an Easter egg hunt as you go to all the worlds you've already been to looking for her. Sometimes it's easy finding her, sometimes it's not, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Well, after Mushroom Kingdom, you have the dark side of the moon. It's a boss rush, nothing too special, but after collecting even more stars, you unlock the darker side of the moon. It's another boss rush, but much more harder. I couldn't do it. And then you have Luigi's Balloon World. He appears throughout all the worlds after beating the game, and the gist of it is that you have to place the balloon down somewhere and have other players try to pop it in a certain amount of time, or you could try to pop other players' balloons as well. They can range from pretty easy to needing a shout-out simple flips to be able to pop one. It all depends on what you're able to do in your skill level. This is the easiest and fastest way to get a lot of coins in the game. Speaking of which, every time you die, instead of losing a life, you lose coins. It's alright, I guess. The life system is basically already outdated in 2023. Not even Crash Bandicoot forces you to do that anymore. And I guess it kinda also makes it easier for the younger kids. The music is good as always. It's a Mario game. I already mentioned Jump Up Superstar and Break Free, the two breakout songs of the game, but there's also other great ones, like the Cascade Kingdom's theme, New Donk City's theme, the Wooded Kingdom, Tust Arena, the Ruins, the Moon Kingdoms, just to name a few. As for the boss battles, some worlds have their own unique bosses, but for the most part, you'll be fighting the Brutos. The Koopa Kids aren't in this one for some reason. The Brutals are fine though, I guess. You know, they're just a bunch of bunnies. Most of them have their own attack patterns that they do, so you just have to approach each of them pretty differently. And then there's also Madame Brutal, the main one. She has a gold chain chomp as a pet, so the key to beating her is taking control of it and forcing it to slam into her face. I could go on and on about Mario Odyssey though. It's just a really fun game to play, and I had and still have a pretty good time with it. It's just a shame that there seems to be no signs of a sequel anytime soon, especially since it's been 6 years already. Meh, well, at least we have Breath of the Wild 2 coming out pretty soon. $70? Nintendo.